All right, so let's talk about this. You've probably heard the term conceptual paper thrown around, especially in academic circles. But what actually is one? It's a bigger question than you'd think. Even top academics and editors debate it. So today, we're going to clear it all up.
And this is always the first thing people ask. It's the most common assumption, and hey, it makes sense, right? If there's no data, it must just be an opinion piece? An essay without all the hard work of collecting stats? Well, that's exactly where we're going to start.
Because, as you've probably guessed, there is a lot more to it than just no data. So let's get into what really makes these papers special.
To answer that first big question, are they just papers without data? Well, the simple, surface-level answer is, yeah, kinda. A conceptual paper isn't going to hit you with new survey results or the outcome of a lab experiment. And here's where it gets interesting. Because while they don't have new data, that's not the whole story. At all. The absence of data is just a characteristic. It's not what defines them. The real magic is in what these papers do instead. So, to really get a handle on this, you gotta see how a conceptual paper stacks up against its cousins. In the world of papers without new data, you basically have three main players: the review paper, the theory paper, and our main event, the conceptual paper. They all have very different jobs.
Okay, check this out. A review paper is like a historian. It looks back and tells you, here's everything we know so far. A theory paper is more like an inventor, trying to build a brand new explanation for something, usually to solve a specific puzzle. But the conceptual paper, it's the bridge builder. It's the connector. Its main job is to take existing, powerful ideas, sometimes from totally different fields, and link them together in a new way. It's about integration, about creating a whole new framework from existing parts.
And this definition really nails it. A conceptual paper is like an architect. It's not making the bricks, but it's taking all these proven materials, theories, ideas, findings, and designing an entirely new structure. It's all about providing a new blueprint that helps us see the world, or at least one part of it, in a completely new light.
So now that we know what they are, what separates a great conceptual paper from a mediocre one? Let's look under the hood. A really strong conceptual piece has to answer some pretty tough questions. It's not enough to just have a neat idea. You have to be able to answer what's new, so what, who cares, and why now. And honestly, that first one, what's new, is the real test. That's what makes it different from a literature review. You can't just summarize what's out there. You have to create a new connection, a new insight that nobody had put together before. And here's the path to getting it right. It always starts with a real-world problem or a confusing puzzle. Then it offers a genuinely new angle on it. But here's the most important part. It can't just stop there. A great conceptual paper offers testable propositions. It gives other researchers a roadmap, saying, here's this new idea, and here's how you can go out and see if it's right. It creates that crucial link between a big idea and the real world.
So how do you get these big, complex, new ideas across? Well, as the saying goes, you draw a picture. Seriously. The best conceptual papers almost always have a model, a figure, a diagram. Why? Because a good visual can take this complicated new framework you've built and make it instantly click. It shows you how all the moving parts fit together in one go.
Okay, so we've established they're tricky to write and require a ton of deep thinking. So, why do we even need them? What's the point? Let's zoom out and look at the huge impact they can have.
This is really the heart of it. Conceptual papers are the architectural blueprints for future science. They don't lay the bricks, that's what empirical studies do, but they design the entire building. They're the kind of papers that can completely shift the conversation in a field, sparking dozens or even hundreds of new studies that would have never happened otherwise.
So when you boil it all down, their value is in connection. They build bridges between ideas that were once isolated. They link entire fields of study that weren't talking to each other. They just broaden our thinking and give us these amazing new frameworks to see the world through. I love this quote from Russell Cropenzano because it just sums it all up so well. A great conceptual paper isn't just one thing. It's a little bit of a review, a little bit of new theory, a little bit of a critique, and a little bit of a roadmap for the future. It pulls all of that together to create something bigger.
Which really just leaves us with one final thought. In a world that's getting more and more specialized, the need for these kinds of intellectual bridges is more important than ever. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What big ideas do you see out there right now that are just waiting for someone to build that bridge?